So welcome back to another episode of the FIFA News Show. Today we're wrapping up the latest news in the world of FIFA. We're going to be talking about the latest updates that came to the game, the Uruguay license in the game as well, plus some other important stuff. As always, if you do enjoy today's video, remember to leave a like for me. And if you are new to the channel, you want to know all the latest FIFA 21 news, make sure you subscribe today so you don't miss anything. This week, EA once again advertised their dual entitlement feature where you can upgrade to the next-gen version for free, but I have to ask, are we getting any next-gen information? There's about 2 or 3 weeks to go until we get the next-gen consoles, and still no gameplay from FIFA. No extra words from EA besides what they said back in June about the features coming, so maybe that's it. Maybe we're not getting much, but there is still a couple weeks left. They might drop something soon. Currently, it's a bit of a shame because you can only carry over your foot and Volta progress, as you guys know, so if you've started a crib mode and stuff and then you get a new console, you can't transfer anything from there. Even pro clubs, you can't transfer your virtual pro, so it's a little bit annoying in that sense. And I think that's why maybe some of you guys are waiting for that next-gen version to actually start playing FIFA properly. So currently in FIFA 21, as you may or may not know, the Uruguay national team is pretty much unlicensed. If you take a look at their kits, they've got fake kits, fake logos, and I think fake players as well, so it's not good at the moment. Now that could soon be changing because apparently reported by Juan Pablo De Marco, the Uruguay Federation has a pre-agreement with EA for the selection to appear licensed in FIFA 21. An executive said that a preliminary agreement has been signed. The idea is that it will be seen in a future update. It says Gaston, a member of the executive committee of the organisation, assured that the authorities are in a negotiation process and the agreement will soon be closed. In fact, they already have a signed preliminary agreement. It implies economic resources that are not large, but we know that it is an issue that is beginning to develop and has a lot of growth and expansion, he said. The manager added that the business also implies an agreement with the soccer players of the selection, but it cannot specify more details until the agreement is finalised. For now, Uruguay appears generically. Serendero, Ferendero, Requero and Dalvez should be Muslera, Godin, Bentancur and Suarez, and the clothing is not official. The sports brand does not appear on the players and neither does the AUF shield. We will have to wait a few weeks to see if the negotiation is finally finalised. So pretty much that means that they're in talks at the moment to get Uruguay fully licensed in the game, which is a good thing, No one likes to have generic national teams. But you're going to have to wait a few weeks to see what happens, and then obviously if all goes well, they'll put it in a future title update as well. Now this article also says that in Uruguay, Pro Clubs is, I think, one of the most popular modes chosen by the gamers there. So this is important going into the next paragraph here. It says, another dream of the fans of this simulator is that at some point all the Uruguayan championship teams and some of the most important stadiums would appear. This has not been possible. I see it very difficult in the short and medium term, said Fruge or something, I don't know. He says that EA does not see with such good eyes that in a country, a business is formalised or set up through the Pro Clubs game mode. Due to a logistics and organisation issue, they are interested in more 1v1 tournaments, something that is not so exploited in Uruguay. So like I said, Uruguay apparently loves Pro Clubs and EA is not interested in that Pro Club side of things. So that's why you're not seeing much at the moment in that country. EA does not give legality to the Pro Clubs competitions. Without knowing it, Uruguay turned against it. Uruguayan clubs have tried to get closer to the manufacturer. As Chromo learned, Nacional made unofficial requests to EA for the Great Central Park to appear in the video game, but this is not going to be the version in which this occurs. However, the Uruguayan teams that compete in the Libertadores do have their license in the game because CONMEBOL reached an agreement with EA, as you guys know. So that's pretty much the situation regarding Uruguay and EA and the licensing there. So let's take a look at the sales numbers for FIFA 21, and it says FIFA 21 digital sales are biggest in series history. I think we can come up with a reason why. It says digital sales of FIFA 21 have made up for the drop in physical sales and are likely to improve further with the next-gen consoles. So digital sales have increased by over 31% compared to last year, but it doesn't quite make up for the 41% drop in physical sales. Now, every year the physical versions of the game perform better, but of course this year with the global issue, people don't want to go to the shops too much. So, of course, the digital sales would be up. But I think there's also fans waiting for the next-gen releases. They don't really know that there is a free upgrade between PS4, PS5 and that. So, not everyone knows what we know in terms of playing FIFA and stuff. So, yeah, pretty much it's sort of sold the same, but it could even get better once the new consoles come out. So this week, EA released FIFA 21 title update number 3. This one is a big one. It fixes a lot of things in career mode, gameplay fixes, Ultimate Team, Volta. It just does the whole package pretty much. Now, I'm not going to go into full detail here. Check out my video from a couple days ago. But pretty much, it fixes all the stuff in the game modes. It brings in 3 new face updates for Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar. And also Arteta from Arsenal should also be getting a real manager face in the game now as well. That's pretty much the little highlighted version. If you want to see the full video, make sure you go and check it out, and I go through all the details there. There was also the 16th of October squad update. Now this one is an interesting one because apparently there's players that have got real faces now in the database. They're still not in the game though, so you can't visually see these new faces. But as you guys may or may not know, on the 1st of October, those players had a real face, and then in the 5th of October squad update, EA removed their faces from the database, and then now on the 16th, they're bringing them back once again. So I don't know if these faces will be coming soon, but if you want to see the full details about that, make sure you go and check out my video from a couple days ago as well. This week, EA released new server patch notes, so they've addressed the following issues on the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. Pro clubs, for some players in pro clubs, skill points are not being earned at the expected rate. Adjusted pro clubs and online seasons cup schedules. For Ultimate Team, it says some players did not receive Division Rivals foot coin rewards after placement. Impacted players have been messaged in-game. Incomplete squad battles matches were unintentionally contributing to Division Rivals placement. A skill rating limit was unintentionally enabled, resulting in players who hit that limit seeing an unintended in-game message. And for career mode, they've addressed the rare stability issue that could impact players. Don't really know what that is. So of course the weekend league started already, and of course it started with some sort of issue. You know, knowing EA, there's always issues that pop up every week. EA FIFA Direct this week said due to unforeseen circumstances, the upcoming FUT Champions has been delayed. Checking game for the revised schedule. So yeah, they had to delay it. Something went wrong there. They've had so long to prepare for this kind of thing, and still something goes wrong on the day their weekend league is meant to start. Now I got this in-game message, maybe you guys have as well. Deadline day rewards have come out for me and maybe for everyone else. It says for playing FIFA 21 Ultimate Team by October 9, you have earned the following packs. Guaranteed Team of the Week, Lone One to Watch Players Pack, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, make sure you check your Ultimate Team. If you played before October 9th, you might get some packs. So this article is about why Bayern Munich has had bad ratings in FIFA 21. This was written by Max from Myanmar or something, I don't know. It says the ratings in FIFA 21 were quite surprising in some places. Bayern values in particular caused criticism. How did that happen? It says the Bayern ratings in particular were simply too low for many players. After all, Munich had just won the triple of the championship, DFB Cup and Champions League, but some players even got downgrades compared to FIFA 20. The ratings boss explains how ratings work. The ratings in the FIFA series come from the work of a lot of people. The assessments come together in the data collection and licensing department, which is headed by Michael. In an interview with Build, he says that we get the reference material for everything that can be seen in the game. That applies from the ball to the stadiums to the players. The ratings are collected in an online database, which in turn is managed by around 400 editors worldwide. They don't do it full-time, but as a hobby. The Swedes take care of the Swedish clubs, those in Korea take on Korean clubs, and so on. Then there are the attributes that ultimately make up the ratings. The main attributes are examined in detail and assessed by the editors before the players are weighed up against each other. You try and create a ranking, and then the whole thing gets put into a global picture to bring a balance so it doesn't look wrong. In addition to the editors, there are several thousand database reviewers around the world who provide detailed suggestions for improvement. So what happened to Bayern in FIFA 21? The excuse was we were very pressed for time due to the unforeseen circumstances and had to get out very early. Unfortunately, some of the games from last season were not included in the evaluation. If we included it, some values would definitely be higher. So that gives you a pretty good insight as to how the ratings work and also what happened to some clubs and that. Look, everything gets balanced. I mean, every year the ratings change for a lot of players. Some are a bit low, some are a bit high. I think EA does favour the partner clubs a little bit in most circumstances. But this year, obviously, due to the issues and the delayed leagues and all that, ratings definitely got affected as well in the game. But I think by now it's not really that much of a big deal anymore. I think people only care about ratings for about 3-4 days and then that's it. No one cares anymore. So this week, EA FIFA Direct put out a few tweets. They said, FUT Champions players, we have seen the questions that you've been asking about how FUT Champions matches contribute to your division rivals' weekly score. Here's the rundown. Completed weekend league matches will award a player 400 weekly score in division rivals, as long as that player has not completed their 30 rivals matches that contribute to their weekly score. In the case above, each weekend league match consumes one of the maximum 30 division rivals matches that count for weekly score progress. For players who have already completed 30 or more division rivals matches before playing weekend league, completed weekend league matches will not contribute to the weekly score in division rivals. As soon as you have played 30 weekly score contributing matches, whether they're in division rivals or weekend league, further matches in either mode will not contribute to your division rivals weekly score for the active competition. I don't really know what all this means because I don't play division rivals or FUT Champions, but I'm sure those who do will understand this. So that's all for the FIFA news this week. You can check this show as a podcast as well. Just search my name on the podcast site and it'll come up. And please make sure you check out this FIFA video. Hit the card in the middle. It'll take you right there. I'll see you next time.